Hello, everybody. This is Animus. You may know me from the Animus Kellen podcast and also Smash Ultimate Competitor for Team Shenanigans Gaming and for the San Antonio, Texas. So right now, all I'm gonna really do is just do kind of a VOD review. It's not gonna be all my sets from Shenanigans tournaments, but this is supposed to compound over the de-rusting video that I'm gonna post as well to kind of show what I have learned and how it really showed into my gameplay. So we're gonna start off with me and Gallon. This matchup for me is actually really hard, just because a lot of Pikachu's normals straight up just beat Sheik, like Nair, up air, fair. There's just little end lag on Pikachu, and Pikachu can just combo me really hard. And T-Jolt's also extremely annoying. So generally, when I am playing this matchup, uh, I usually try to figure out what kind of Pikachu player there are at the first place, because we've had a total of three Pikachus, and they all play like different Wi-Fi Pikachus, if that makes sense. Like Gallon likes T-jolting whenever he's a bit nervous. Right now, he is kind of approaching a bit more with his normals, which is good, which is what you should do in the Pikachu Sheik matchup. Uh, but there are some things I do know from the Pikachu matchup is forward smash on ledge and fair to like cover me on my ledge get ups. But in this specific match right now, uh, I kind of am just trying to secure a kill on Gallon because anything can really kill me. Not like up air or like fair, but things like dash attack, grab, forward smash, fair on ledge. Pretty close to dying with any of those moves. Uh, I think this one specifically, Gallon actually up throws me, which I die from. Also, like forward, like he always forward smashes, not because it's a bad habit, but because like it's a kill option that's really hard to punish too. Yeah, I get up thrown there and I die. And I only wanted to show like one stock of that. We could go more into that, but I think that one went into, unironically went into time, which I don't want. I don't want things to go into time like that. And so this one, I start using needles a lot more. I think Gallon also wins this one. I might be mistaken. This might be the one that I win. I might have skipped game two just because I think both of them went super close to time. For the most part here, I just start needling more because Gallon likes to during at this time in the set, Gallon was T-jolting me more on ledge. It was just retreating to ledge a lot more willingly, which is I'm okay with. I'd rather Pikachu be on ledge instead of having all the stage control of the world. Uh, like I said, this matchup is kind of hard. The reason why I'm side being here a lot, throwing grenades, is because Gallon's stalling a lot off stage, which is probably why we went to timeout in the first place, because Pikachu side being takes a while to really go forward, and then staying in the air to avoid my side Bs, plus recovering in general. That's just going to take time. See, that's where I kill him with one of my grenades. And I will use it if Pikachus do stall off stage a lot more. And I'm using stall not in a way that's like timing me out at camping, but in the sense that like it does stall, like it does take a while for that side B to recover. This is also what I mean that this is a difficult matchup because Pikachu was able to mash all those buttons real good, and the only real thing that's stopping Gallon in this specific situation is his spacing and his willingness not to push a button sometimes. Like right there too, like I also can't hit Pikachu when he pancakes, and that frustrates me very much. Uh, just because like I jabbed and he went under it, so unless I down tilted, but then I would have had to take the chance of whether his F tilt or his down tilt or jab would have beaten me out. I did start doing fair ones into rapid jabs a lot more, just because I know Gallon did want that up throw, and I'd rather, and I know he's not going to take the chance to wait a little bit and think there's going to be a mix up, because sometimes I do mix that up. But I think I do win this game. I think this is actually game three. That was also matchup check with Sheik. She can actually landing bear, spot dodge, and forward smash. So if you try to grab that, you die at certain percents for that. So I kind of had to cash that in just to keep this lead here. I know for down smash as well. I know for Pichu down smash, you can actually tech the ground by SDIing. I don't think you can do that with Pikachu because I haven't seen anybody do it with Pikachu. But it is something I did try to do. That one I also SDI'd. You can SDI Pikachu's Fair. I don't know if anybody knows that, but even big characters like Ike can do that. It's actually kind of crazy. I could have up smashed there, but I was kind of really scared because Pikachu is really, really difficult. Oh, this is where I take the stock. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's showing the first stock that I put, but it did. Gallon did actually start DIing down my throws, which is not what you're supposed to do for anything, honestly. Because if you DI down throw, down, it just becomes a kill confirm on platforms with up air. And now this is me with my set with Emo Lord. I think this is also just one game as well. I'm not sure where Emo Lord and I are in our sets, but I have beaten him pretty consistently so far. And that's just because Emo Lord kind of needs a lot more space to play. Because he does want charge shot, and he does want you to be on ledge. And he's not really good at scrapping. Samus actually in general is just not really good at scrapping. So it's not even like a him problem. So my whole game plan here is to keep rushing Samus down, waiting for when she's not side Bs, down Bs, and then punishing wherever she goes from there. I think I do get a kill off here because either Emo Lord was going to down B off that down throw, which he does a lot with Samus in disadvantage, is down B, or he was going to jump down B. And that's the reason why I forward threw Bouncing Fishdom. Up tilt, actually, in a lot of matchups, help out a lot. You might have noticed that in the Pikachu set too, where my up tilts did catch a lot of his out of shield options. IMO in this matchup for against Sheik as Samus, I played it before. You need to Zera a lot more. Like, you do need to be a bit preemptive. Me getting hit by that down B made me realize to care a bit more about getting off ledge when Emo Lord has his grenades up. Because I can just die off that. Again, I actually am getting a lot of grabs throughout the whole set because people are just holding his shield a lot and they're really scared to make preemptive moves. See, that bomb I had to fade back away after I jumped, but if he pushed it a little further, I definitely would have died there. Something you might notice too about this matchup in general is Samus is really, really floaty. That was also supposed to be a bear, by the way. But Samus is just really floaty and really big, where she can kind of get comboed really, really easily, just like that. You also might be noticing my needles gameplay as well. I reverse landing needles into jab, jab, grab. And the reason why I jab, jab, grab is because I know Emo Lord's holding shield a lot, and is kind of waiting for a more punishable option. Back air is also a really good confirm. I'm really glad he did fade back air, because that actually was a good option. Because he was kind of relying on his, what do you call it, projectiles to kill me. I could have punished that a little bit better, but I was still really nervous within this set. Just because Emo Lord has really good ledge trapping and advantage state, where if you fuck up with the bombs, you could die. Whenever I forward smash like that, I really am just scared. Like, I don't know really what I'm doing, and I'm just hoping people mess up, which kind of worked out for me in the end. That's also another point that I meant. Ignore this part. I hope I fix it, because I'm kind of going over what I fixed. If not, that's fine. But that's kind of what I meant regarding Emo Lord, is that, or not Emo Lord, but like Samus in general. Like, they're really floaty and really big, so it's really easy to combo them. For my set with KH in general, there's a lot of things that, again, a lot of this could be solved if people just approach more IMO. Not a lot. I think I lose this game, or one of the games on PS2, because I started approaching more. Because what KH does is he looks for you rolling like that, like you dashing in and rolling in, or jumping in, and hitting you with big, heavy normals. Uh, but if you wait like half a second and wait for his commitments, then you could punish it pretty well. Like, I think this is death. He could have teched that, but that's fine. And then with Mithra, what he's trying to do, he'll actually just like smash attack and hope you like right there, Dave. I don't know if you noticed that, but he did try doing another option, hoping that you didn't know that that the forward smash has like so little end lag. That too, so that's something he does. Says tomahawk up tilt. In this matchup specifically, it's better just to hold shield a little bit longer if Pyra jumps at you, because if she grabs you, she's not gonna kill you. But if she up tilts you or hits you with a big normal, like you'll die. Like there too, I rolled in. I didn't get hit, thank goodness, but it was pretty close to me getting hit. I could have died there. See again, he throws a smash attack with Mithra and then hopes you don't know that there's little end lag on that and then punishes you with it. So again, I think if people just learned how to approach a little bit better. It's kind of hard to say how even this matchup is as well, because Sheik does beat up like Pyra and does do decent against Mithra, but it's also really volatile because they hit really hard and do a lot of percent, and Sheik's really light in the first place. I actually wasn't expecting an air dodge in that part. He might have been reading a bouncing fish, but I actually was expecting him to side B and covering that. Something I also noticed, I'll dash back a lot against KH when I throw him or he's up in the air. Because when he's up in the air, he wants to land with Nair a lot. So I'll just dash back, baiting it out, and then punish him for it. And you'll see, like, right here, actually, look at that. See? So, like I said, if you just dash forward and then dash back, baiting out the Nairs that he tries to throw out, you could punish him a lot easier. I promise. It's actually a lot better. So that one was pretty good. I think game two, I do straight up just lose. Uh, just because I was being a bit more aggressive. This is game three, I believe. I don't want to put too many things in the VOD for this channel, so... That one I could have punished a little bit better, but that's okay. The main thing that I need to work on for the future is not forward smashing or relying on my forward smash, and maybe just relying on something a little bit better. That'll get my combo game a bit better, or my punish game better. This is also another thing, is that KH was kind of learning a little bit that him mashing an aerial was not good. He was getting punished for that, but I also adapted back by just straight up just hitting him for not mashing an aerial. You know what I mean? People, I talked about this in the video, but if you can't adapt back to your opponent's adaptation, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to win. That was some good ass movement. I'm actually really happy that I had some good movement there. I forward smashed again around that time too, so... I started needling a little bit more too here, just because he wasn't really coming in, he was just kind of bouncing around. That's something I learned from a friend where they told me, if you don't like what they're doing, just throw a projectile at them and they should stop. And if they don't stop, you can just continue throwing the projectile. I don't know what he was waiting for. I think he was waiting... I don't know if he actually was waiting for the roll on that. I don't think Aegis's roll is actually that good anyways. I think it's supposed to be a call out. But again, I waited out the aerial and disadvantage. For me in general, my call out is for him not to do it rather than him actually doing it. I'd rather be prepared for him to do it, mess up and not get hit, than to call it out and then he actually hits me. You know what I mean? That's something too. I think if people had better advantage states, not just approaching, but like better advantage, it'd be a lot easier for people to deal with not players like KH, but playstyles like that, where they're kind of hoping you don't know certain aspects of the character, or just hoping that you fall into their like moves. I think it's death here. I think I edgeguarded this completely. No. I could have bed there, but I think I was a little afraid. I think something too, people should edgeguard a little bit more. Because it's very difficult for you to actually die. You can still get reversal and die. There's some characters that actually can do that. But like that right there, if I did that earlier, he would have died way, way earlier. Now this is my set with Rays. I didn't want to really show his Terry match because there's so many VODs of that at this point. I do think this will be good for people to learn how to deal with Little Mac too. And it's not really about how to play neutral with him. Because I tell people, like, just straight up fight him. Like, you have to have the stage control and you have to have the advantage to fight him with. Too many people try to camp and give Mac the space. Like, here, I'm ready to edgeguard. And because I edgeguarded, he died. He could have side B, but it would have traded and he would have died anyways. It wouldn't have changed anything. That's something, too, with Max. If you saw that forward smash, he's kind of just hoping you would run in. Otherwise, if he thought I was standing still, he probably would have dashed in and F tilted or just run up forward smash. Right there, I was trying to down air, but I think he started noticing that, which is good. I don't think I adapted until the next stock after this. But he was catching in my like matchup check down airs. He wants to go higher on those situations, specifically because he doesn't want to get hit. KO punches online, but honestly, I don't really care when KO punches online. Because if I don't hit him, he's going to have it for a good while. And if he has that longer, the more I'm going to be scared. So to kind of overcome that, I just rush in hoping that I'm able to outbox him. Which doesn't work out for everybody, but that's just something for people to keep in mind, that if you do a certain amount of damage or knockback to Little Mac, his KO punch will go away. And it's a lot easier to deal with Little Mac without KO punch than when he does. And again, just playing scared against Little Mac isn't really the best. Like, he called me out for trying to land there. I think at this point I start being a bit more aggressive. Nope, he caught my landing aerial, which is good. I'm glad he is. See, he has KO punch here, and if I had, like, aerial there and he KO punch, I think I would have fucking died. If I'd done that back air better, it would have killed, but I'm not really gonna critique that. Yeah, I think it's game at that point, because I think I explode him. Oh, no, this is where we both choke, actually. Actually, I've noticed a lot of people here have been doing like forward smashes at ledge. Maybe it's just not a me thing. For me, I really am just waiting to bait out a move. I could have totally punished that, and that was my bad. This is something Cheese Curd posted about, like taunt to get bodied. Sheik demolishes Little Mac. I think if you're constantly approaching and rushing him down, Little Mac just loses. I don't think people are brave enough to fight that. He does go Doc later, but I beat his Doc as well. It's just easier to deal with than Little Mac IMO. I don't think Doc has anything better than what Little Mac actually has. And I'm here skipping away to go over to mine in Lorion's set. And we're going to go over game one. I think this one does take a while because we went to get a water break, because Lorion was actually really excited, and I'm really glad he was. So we start out game one. And something Ryan learned how to do with Rally, because Rally was actually telling me about it, was that he was a lot more preemptive with his moves. Like, he was actually trying to tech chase me there, rolling out, which if I did, he would have gotten more damage. He does actually have some good movement around platforms and using it very well. See how he's up airing and sharking me a little bit? Even though I'm not as close as I could be, he is throwing it out in case I do an aerial or fast fall onto him. Because you can't hold shield in the air. Well, I think Wolf does pretty good into Sheik. I don't think it's like losing for Sheik or bad. Because I know a lot of people say like Wolf doesn't do good into Sheik, which I don't think is really true because Wolf has really good consistent damage off of his grabs and fairs and up airs, really low percents, uh, and really high priority on his moves, which is really good against Sheik. Those are really good tools. The only real thing he doesn't have is like faster frames, but they're fast enough to work with if you're preemptive about it. Like, see, he's throwing out nairs like that, trying to catch my jump ins. I think towards the end, I almost make a reverse 3 stock. But Lorraine played this really well, actually. The rest of the games I'm not going to show for this first set, just because Lorraine did fuck me up pretty hard. It did take me a while to adapt. That one could have actually been a forward smash. That's something that did end up hurting Lorraine in the future. I don't know if you noticed, but he was waiting a little bit more on ledge there. And towards the second set, when I am just not rushing in when he's ready to be preemptive, he kind of waits around a little bit. And that's how I kind of catch him off guard, or for anybody that's trying to be preemptive for that matter. Because when you're preemptive, you have to be proactive. And if you're not proactive, then it's difficult to be preemptive. That's something too, if you notice, he like was just standing there back airing me. He rarely ever goes for, any wolf in general ever goes for like just run in back air, right? So I can just stand still or just hold shield and not worry too much about getting hit by that back air. A lot of that is also me being preempted too with like my grabs on ledge. A high percent, I can't really afford to be scared. I kind of have to make these callouts to make that comeback, and that's just how it is with any game or matchup too. Because when you're down, you have to start making the bigger plays. Because Lorion's like throwing out kill moves here, and it's just gonna work out eventually. Uh, just because Wolf can afford to do that. He's heavy, he's not gonna get killed too early, and his moves kill super early anyways. Like, I think I do get killed by a dash attack, my last stock. See, I'm not really rushing in. I'm waiting for him to make a commitment, and then he waited a little too long for that, which allowed me to get the punish on him with that dash attack. Me dashing back there was also waiting for him to see if he's making a commitment. Uh, and for the most part, he really doesn't. Which is fine. Like, he really shouldn't be making that big of a commitment when he's winning, especially since his game plan has been working so far. But like something like that dash attack was to call me out for neutral get up, which is good. I'm glad he did that. See, he's waiting a little bit, lasering. These are all things that he should be doing. I'm not sure how he does kill me. I'm pretty sure it's actually just straight up a dash attack. His F tilts have actually been a lot better. I'll see him do like landing late hit of Nair into F tilt. Yeah, it was straight up just a dash attack. But the next games weren't as close as that one. It's pretty much the same thing. Lorion's being more patient, and he's being a lot more preemptive and getting more off of his like fairs, up airs, and grabs, which is what Wolf should be doing in the matchup. Because if he can get his guaranteed hits in and call it good, it's just harder for Sheik to really make those risky plays. It should cut soon to a different clip. So I'm going to show us off on Grand's reset. I think this is Grand's reset. I'm not sure if it updates later, but I'm pretty sure this is Grand's reset. And so Lorraine put himself in a corner here, which is bad. You don't ever want to put yourself in a corner. He was giving up a lot of stage control. Uh, good up smash out of shields. And again, he was just lasering a lot there, which is good. But I kind of noticed he's playing a lot around platforms from my first set with him. So I just started playing a little differently around those platforms. Playing around laser a bit more as well. That was a good tech chase by me. That's something I've noticed too during my Grand's reset was to edge guard. Because that's my best way to really kill Wolf is to edge guard him. And for me to maintain a lead at this point is to actually just do that. See that back air? It didn't touch my shield. It went above my shield. So he was really only using back air as an option to cover things and never as a way to kill me, to like approach me with, if that makes sense. It was only to cover. So me holding shield on ledge, I was never really scared. What he could have done is start just grabbing me when I hold shield like that, and then that forces me to either start taking the grab damage, which eventually Nair up air will kill me, or I have to start making plays to get out of those grabs so I can start doing damage to him. I back off there because I've messed up my positioning. I really wanted to pressure the shield more. But if I had done any other move like Nair or down air, I would have gotten punished super hard and I would have lost that stock. No, my down shot, I actually thought about I should have down smashed there and it didn't connect anyways, so. So you kind of see me jumping in and then baiting back. What I'm waiting for is for him to be preemptive about my moves so I can bait it out and then punish it. Which, if you've noticed, is how he gets hit sometimes because he will try to be preemptive when I'm not even actually fully committing. I'm surprised that back throw didn't actually kill me. Honestly, he didn't even need to bear there. He could have up aired, but either way, that worked out pretty well for him. I actually start punishing his lasering a lot more because I can just go over it at like a diagonal angle, fair him, and then grab him at low percents. You see me jab one, jab two again. Honestly, sometimes it's just better just to grab in those situations. Just a matchup tip, because if your grab loses, it means I rapid jabbed. If you're either taking rapid jab damage or you're taking not only damage from the throws, but you lose your positioning off those throws as well. So sometimes it's just better just to grab and just take the rapid jab damage. And I'm gonna end this video off. This is just me getting that Twitter clip. Uh, a lot what ended up happening here is Lorian might have tried adapting by being more passive and not as preemptive, because I was trying to bait him out for being preemptive, and then he just kept holding shield a lot, which is which makes sense. Like it's Grand's Finals reset. He made the reset. He made the upset too, and he has a good chance of winning this. But when you're in those situations, it's really scary. There's a lot that could go wrong. So I understand why he may have been a little bit nervous about all of that. But just to end this off, there's a lot of things that I feel like people don't, not that they don't know about Sheik, they definitely know because I see them complain about it. But like I tell them what they should do, and it's either like be preemptive like Lorian was doing, and also you just gotta adapt and approach and not give me space. And I pointed out some habits that people have too, so I hope anybody that's listening picks that up and let me know how that works out for you next tournament. I do want people to get better in the scene. Because at the end of the day, it just helps me get better too. Because it doesn't really matter. For example, if someone gets better than me and starts beating me, I'm not gonna care about that. Like I am gonna care in the sense that I'm gonna be like a little annoyed by it, but it is gonna help me improve because I have to overcome that as a competitor. And a lot of people actually don't like that, from what I've noticed. They don't like having to deal with struggle and to lose and get better. But that's part of the process of competing, and I feel like a lot of people need to get used to that. But thank you very much for watching. I'm going to end this video now.